Hi and welcome to number 3 of our Tay of Tantric Arts for Women. And I thought before I head out with my cousin and some friends and some girly friends for an evening, I would do our number 3 video for this. So I'm going to go straight into this, finishing where we left off with the introduction onto page 3, loving your instrument. By applying the practice and principles in this book, you can open a treasure chest of creative opportunities for growth. Along the way, you may stir up challenges and issues that want to be liberated through mindfulness, self-understanding and compassion. You can embrace these issues and resolve them at a gentle pace that is organic for you. You are not alone when you connect with your creative essence and higher guidance. Your intuition and heart's knowing will lead you, as well as pave the way for others around you. I can see these beautiful orbs of light around me, which is really, really lovely to see. Anyway, sorry, ad-libbing. How to read this book. After you read a practice, it's good to close your eyes and visualize yourself doing it. In this way, you can accomplish the practice in a kinetic imagination, applying these principles where the mind goes, chi flows. So, excuse me, the creative visualization, the mind does not know the difference between visualization and imagined visualization and actually really remembering and imagining. It's the same part of the brain that we have this. So it's like you're actually doing stuff when you imagine doing it. Excuse my diggly throat. I've been doing lots of clearing this week and some stuff has been coming up for the throat. So apply these principles where your mind goes, chi flows. You will reap the benefits as if you were doing the practices with movements or your physical body. This is a convenient way to practice inadvertently if you are reading this book on an aeroplane or in a coffee shop. For instance, you don't want to draw attention to yourself. When you are in a safe space, practice with your whole being. Take the time to embody these practices by gently nurturing yourself on all levels. So you will bring more joy and compassion into your life. I recommend that you read and practice with this book like you would a cookbook. When you feel tantalized by the description of a practice, cook it up and eat it right away. For those of you who do not use recipes, let it be inspiration. Once you understand the essence of chi cultivation and transformation, you can create your own chi forms and delicious dishes. Now, I'm definitely one that drives my partner crazy in the fact that I will make stuff up as I'll see a recipe. It's just an inspiration and a rough outline because I will be putting in what I'm guided to by my guides. I want you to do the same. And I'm speaking to my members as well. And I'm sure that those that are drawn to this are very intuitive and naturally on this path anyway. So listen to your heart, listen to your guidance. What's it telling you to do? Even if it's a question of you opening up. Number 6, I've just opened it up and it's saying jade egg practice. So, which is something actually I've worked with. So you know that your divine timing will guide you to what you need to be doing. We're going to be reading through this book. We're going to be doing some of the like the meditations. I will do little separate meditations for this for my members and for myself to listen to. But the pillars of this practice we're going to read now. So there is such an abundance of treasure in this book. I know, I can just feel the energy. I love it. And I just want to say again, thank you, Milka DeVos, for creating it because it's so needed in our society today, and I'm not even through it, but I can feel the difference of how much it will help. So sorry, please forgive the ad-libbing. There is such an abundance of treasure in this book. You may wonder which are the main practices that you should focus on. There are the practices that best support this energetic path. Tay energy fundamentals, the inner smile, the 6 healing sounds, microcosmic orbit, and chi self massage. They're all Qigong based practices. There's the sexual energy cultivation, the free fires, the breast massage. Breast massage is very good. We did this with the members for menopause. So yoni breathing, jade egg practice, and the triple purifications. The Tay tantric qigong. There's the lotus sublimation, belt channels, thrusting channels and fountains, kidney breathing, embracing the tree, bone breathing, moon and sun practices. And then the alchemy of love, which is harmonized exchange, water wheels, and divine union. And obviously some of these practices is practiced with partner, but as said, I'm assuming you could go through and doing the visualization and think of it of the creation of the energy. That birthing energy of birthing a baby can be birthing in a being of a project, something you want to bring into being, into manifestation, especially if you've finished with that part of your life and you're moving out. We're swapping that energy round to creating and birthing things. So principles of self-cultivation, the practice in this book are drawn from ancient Taoist principles of energy flow in the universe and in our bodies. The flow of Tay is to life in accordance with the natural way. Nature goes through the cycles of the seasons, and the ancient Taoists created formulas for practice based on these cycles. The 5 element cycles that underline much of the Taoist thoughts also form the underpinning for many of the practices in this book. The creation cycle is used to cultivate energy, while the controlled cycle is used to counterbalance opposite elements. And see chapter 2 for more information on these 5 element cycles. The stage of a woman's life cycle can also be viewed as the seasons: maiden, spring; wild woman, summer; mother, fall; and crone, the wiser, the witcher, or the wise woman. Spring and summer are the yang seasons, and fall and winter are the yin seasons. So we are conscious of balancing active yang with restful yin practices. The medicine wheel acknowledges the cycles of the moon phases. In understanding the menstrual cycles, ovulation is linked to the full moon, and pre-menstrual periods correspond to the waning moon. Menstruation is like the dark moon, and the post-menstruation period corresponds to the waxing moon, with the still points in the centre of the wheel. We also apply the principles of medical Qigong, which include purging, tonifying and regulating. When we move into the new house or state of being, we first need to clean the house, repair it, fortify its structure, and create a balanced atmosphere in which to live. The golden triangle of sacred trinity of the body, soul and spirit is applied continuously in these 3 teachings. You are always addressing bodily awareness, emotional transformation and creative intention. Practical notes and cautions. Sexual energy is like fire. It can warm your house or cook your food. If you don't treat it wisely with respect, it can burn your house down. These practices are powerful and require your loving attention. If you have a medical condition, please consult a physician or a doctor or a traditional Chinese medicine to listen to the needs of your body. I'm always saying in class, in practice with Qigong, your body, you listen to you. Incrementation, you're not competing with anyone. You're not trying to do exactly what I do in those moves. We're moving the body in incrementation. So if you can't, it's listening to what feels right for you. And it's the art of understanding and getting to know your body, even just through the movement of the basic Qigong movement, also transferred into that as well. So Chinese medicine, listen to the needs of your body. If you have any questions, please contact the Universal Healing Tai instructor or Tai Tantric Arts facilitator. In general, the practice included in this book are safe way to work with Kundalini, the powerful sexual energy currents, as they are well grounded and well founded throughout the book. We will identify contradictions for specific practices and conditions. When the sexual energy is awakened, it will start to clean up the body and emotions to prepare for the rebirth of your subtle body. You might experience detoxification symptoms, as well as a release of physical toxins, rest, get body work, be in nature, move, dance, give yourself time to integrate. I've been saying this all year through class, and you've probably watched and listened to me go to these cycles as I'm working through what is commonly batted around as ascension symptoms, raising the energy and shifting our frequency and our vibration. And as we move through that, we go through these like integration periods of experimentation and then embodiment. And as we are starting to integrate things before embodying them and transforming them and transcendence, going through these cycles, everything is a process. Allow yourself time to alchemize that process within you, within your body, within your thoughts, within your emotional field, your physical field, and your spiritual field, as information and guidance will be flowing to you. Special caution: pregnant women should avoid drawing sexual energy away from the growing fetus. Instead, channel earth energy up and into the body to support growth. So you're bringing up that grounding energy, which you probably, if you're watching this video, are very familiar with doing. Women with IUDs should avoid weight resistance training, as the IUDs could cause tears in the uterus. Those who have mental and emotional challenges should practice inner smile, 6 healing sounds, and microcosmic orbits to harmonize the inner life before actively cultivating sexual energy. Any of my members, we've been doing this all year. You're all good. We've been doing these practices throughout, starting in 2022, March 2022 when we started. So you guys are good. But if you are viewing this video for the first time and you've not seen any of my videos, then please do. I'll refer you to that, or refer to other Qigong practitioners to work on inner smile. Inner smile is kind of just taking that energy and bringing it up and leveling up your emotional body. And the 6 healing sounds, I've got videos on this. There's other practitioners have videos on this. And the other 2, I haven't personally done it. Video stuff for this, but this is something we've worked through in my own practice with my members. So where do we get to? Cultivating organ, harmonizing life, actively cultivating sexual, because sexual energy amplifies our emotions and thought patterns. It's important to avoid putting gasoline on the fire that may be self-destructive or imbalanced. You don't want to be bringing that strong energy in if you're not in balance. It's like anything, then that will set fire. So if you are doing those practices, you're fine. And you might have been doing that without realizing it, and then, I don't know, going off with the emotions or being triggered. It's that fire. So allowing you to calm the balance of the yin and yang, to know yourself and be in balance with yourself is really important when cultivating any kind of energetic work before undertaking any kind of healing practices. So, but it's not as scary either. So I don't want to put you off or steer you away. Know that just understand yourself, listen to your thoughts, listen to your emotions, and assess as you go, incrementations. Through self-observation, there we go, through self-observation, and I haven't read this, I swear, not yet. I'm reading it for the first time with you, so just in tune with it, I believe. Through self-observation, you can read the warning signals of your body and emotions when they are in the bud formation, rather than remaining unaware until your body screams at you through disease, through practices. These practices are really the art of preventative medicine, as is all qigong. Through self-awareness and self-care, you can prevent some pain and suffering arising from negligence. These practices can be very energizing. If you practice this at night without balancing and centering, you might end up cleaning the whole house or writing a book at the end of every session. Absorb excess energy and heat into the bone marrow via bone breathing, and balance hot and cold energy by running the microcosmic orbit. Center and stone energy in the navel center in to finish. If there is still excess energy, cool down with the triple warmer healing sound. So triple warmer is hee, and I've got a little mini video on Instagram that you can it's just me going like hee. I'm a bit off with my throat, so the sound's a little bit off on this, but basically you connecting with the triple warmer, you're bringing that back down into yin and rebalancing all of those chakras with the sound within your pneumatic staff. Also, if you brush off, you slap down and you touch the ground, that can also shaking off excess energy. Resetting the nervous system is another way if you're feeling any excess. So bringing yourself and slapping and grounding the body back down. If your body is shaking and moving spontaneously, allow the energy to move you and unwind blockages. Please see the description in unwinding in the chapter 8. So we'll cross that in, go across that in chapter 8. If the energy gets too high, a venting point is the Mingman, that's your stomach, of the door of life, behind the navel on the spine. Breathe into this first aid point and reset yourself with source energy. So grounding like you would heart-centered breath, but do that with your Ming Mang like we do in class. We do that every day, so you guys should be good with that. The first aid point, bubbling spring on the soles of your feet. See self-aperture in chapter 2, but basically bubbling spring is when you lift up, when we're doing this lifting, rising, and you're opening the gates on your feet, and to make sure you're grounding that energy. You can also slap the bottom and palms of your feet. Oh, I just skipped something. Oh, hang on. Yeah. You can trust the innate wisdom of your natural sexual energy. Resistance and suppression of this powerful life force can create mental, emotional, and physical imbalances. Cooperate with this energy, as it is always working to heal you and balancing you. Now, in my memory, I'm going to add to this with my own wisdom as well. In my memories of the Temple of Anaya, we would enact the masculine and feminine coming together of two souls. We would do that for healing. That energy would be focused and centered in an embodiment of the divine feminine and masculine on earth. But we would use that sexual energy for healing within ourselves as priestesses, but also in the partner as well. But that energy was focused around, it was deemed as a sacred act. It wasn't, yes, later it was abused, and later it was deemed against nature, and was actually what's the word, abused in general, and I can't even think of the word, it twisted and used in not in the way it was meant, because it wasn't, because you had people that weren't in their alignment and they weren't using it in the right way because they hadn't been taught and they didn't understand, and it was more from a unbalanced root energy and not performed in a sacred way with a sacred intention of the sacred cultivation. So that energy is very, very powerful. For any of you Reiki teachers out there, this kind of like magnifies things for healing and creation. It's a beautiful way when you know what you're doing, and I'm still learning. I'm still in that learning process. So I'm going from my memories from past life. Not saying me here in this incarnation knows that, but I remember doing that. I remember seeing the effects and what it did in those lifetimes. So it's a very beautiful, sacred art that has been lost, that was repressed, that was seen as a negative, and corrupted is the word I was looking for, with negative energy centers. But we're bringing it back and taking back that sacred with that rise of the feminine. We are purifying that to its highest aspect in and beauty of how we can create consciously and sacred sexuality. That's the true meaning, in its true meaning and essence. Processing of the practice. So it's important to understand why we do practices in certain order. Actually, I'm going to stop that there because we're at 20 minutes. I want to keep these kind of shorts before we go into this. I want to keep that together. So thank you for watching. Please like and let me know in the comments if this is helpful. Because the reason I started definitely doing this is I looked for an audio version of this book and there wasn't anyone, because it's considered because of the topic to be not allowed. But this is about the menopause and hormones and understanding our body. This is essential, I believe, for all women to understand, and key to unlocking and rebalancing the root. Because if we're rebalancing this beautiful root energy of ourselves as women, the more women that are able to do that and in balance with the masculine, and it's not just about the divine feminine, it's about the divine masculine being in balance, then we literally, it's the 4-minute mile. The more of us that do it, the more that it's easier for others to do the same. For beautiful women like this that have moved things forward, have made it easier for us. We are just remembering from that collective mindset, and like for me, from my memories from life's times where that was possible. So love and blessings in your day. Thank you. I'm Teresa Jande, Love Authentic Me, or Tree Heart Art Design Authentic. Thank you for joining me.